Alrighty folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Welcome back to our Nascar Diecast review. Today we have the 2023 Dale Earnhardt Jr. Sundrop Late Model. Now this is not the raced version from 2022, so don't get it confused with that one. This is the clean version of the following year's paint scheme. Let's hop to it. Alrighty folks, we're at the good old box and let's jump into today's Diecast review. Of course, this one's brought to you by our good friends at Circle B Diecast. Make sure you use promo code Diecastbuffet at checkout and you can save on shipping any orders $30 or more. Don't have to use it, make sure to check it out. And let's really get into this Diecast review. So, like, real talk, I accidentally dropped this car on the ground, so I think there's a tiny paint chip on the spoiler, but that's okay. This will be a donor car, so it's all good. Let's go ahead and dive into it, fellas. So this is from the late model series called Cars Tour, or The Cars Tour, something like that. I'll be the first one to tell you I really don't follow late model racing, but I love the diecast for it. They're like a modern version of Gen 4 cars. They look really cool. Solid Rock Carriers is apparently the sponsor for it. I think they've sponsored Jeb Burton a couple times in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You got Sundrop right there, citrus soda. Go to the front end of the car. You got your Camaro headlights, and man, I cannot tell you how much better the late model mold looks with this paint scheme than that goofy 06, 07 Monte Carlo diecast thing. That thing looks so bad, dude. Like, you look at the real photos of the car, and it looks like this, right? You know, very sloped, aggressive, smooth front end, and then you have the Pontiac Grand Prix rear end. And then they built the 2022 edition of that car on a Gen 4 Cup car. I'm like, what the biff? Fortunately, they kind of made up for it and re-released it, technically. Now, that official paint scheme from 2022, the clean version, didn't get made, but this is the 2023 edition. Not really sure how many different things they are, but it's a dope-looking paint scheme. So you got number 3 right there. Let's zoom in, because I can't even see the decals from here. Let's zoom in, and yeah, there's like probably 1,000 different logos on this car that I've never noticed before. Late model racing is usually very regional, very North Carolinian, you know, if that's how you pronounce it. You know, that's where a lot of the racetracks are, and naturally you're going to have a lot more smaller sponsors. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The whole front end on these cars, if you don't know, I've actually stripped these things down to the metal. They're completely smooth. So they're a universal mold. It's very much like the truck diecast nowadays, or how the 2011, 2012 Cup cars were. They're a generic mold. Now the headlights are a little bit drooped, but again, it's a late model. The whole front end sloped, so it's not going to be symmetrical like your Gen 7 cars. The left side of the diecast, you do see some quality issues here, unfortunately. This little area right here, the tri-state area on the A pillar, there is a clear tear and a crack. They didn't clearly level the or at least trim the inside portion of that decal. That's a very difficult decal, I might add, to lay over, but regardless, they're the professionals. You can see the side skirt decal is pushed up, the hood, that which pushes up all the contingencies as well, because this is all one piece. And you can see how the Hoosier thing is on the roof, and it's a lot lower on this side. You know, I notice Elderbrock, Comp, and Mail and stuff like that, but these others decals, I don't know what the biff they are. Maybe tilt-on. Got Sundrop right there in the quarter panel. You can see the pop rivet design, which is always nice. I think this is the Cars Tour logo. I could be completely mistaken on it. Got Dale Earnhardt Jr. On the roof, literally on the roof. Not on the little name rail. It is on the freaking roof. So if you see the car from this angle, yeah. Got your B-post decal there. I see, I think, Junior Motorsports, Racing Electronics, Chevrolet, Z-Max, something like that. Go to the caboose of this diecast, that beautiful Pontiac Grand Prix rear end. Got Sundrop, citrus soda, number 3. I love the detail they did on the spoilers. There's a lot of very, very fine diecast metal detail. That all those little bumps and rivets and brackets is all diecast. That is not a plastic piece. That is all diecast. Usually when they have spoilers, they don't do the brackets anymore. They just do a flat bar. And I'll show an example here. This is the next gen car. Now, obviously, the spoiler on the next gen is nowhere near as pronounced as the years in the past, but it just shows you how much detail they really did on this freaking diecast. I got to give them a lot of credit, because diecast molds are a lot more challenging than people would think, because they're a cast. They have to be able to There's certain proportions they have to round off. They can't have a lot of sharp edges the way these things are casted. So to get that level of detail is pretty impressive. Reminds you of the green light Indy cars. Now this is a big bugaboo. Look at all the scratches and stuff. Now, if you want to make this car look rustic and old-fashioned, which is a throwback to the 90s Dale Jr. paint schemes, I believe, when he was doing, coming up in the NASCAR ranks and whatnot, running late model before he got his cup starts going, you can see a lot of issues here. If it was intentional, it would look cool. It would just give it kind of an old school vibe, but that's just decal quality issues. Go to the top of the diecast, got the number 3. Once again, got your printed front windscreen and rear windscreen. These cars are just so cool, though. It really is. I love the diecast mold. It's a universal one, so you can make all the manufacturers you want with it. Got sun drop right there again on the deck lid. And what a fabulous diecast to behold. So, if I was a huge Dale Jr. fan, which I am, but let's just say you just wanted some Dale Jr. late models, I would highly recommend getting this one before you get the North Wilkesboro raced version, because it's the clean version of it, right? It looks really good. I'd get both of them if you can, but if you can only get one, I would get the clean version of it, because you can also consider it the 2022 edition as well. Don't even get me started on how bad that Gen 4 release was. That was an embarrassing L. But hey, I gotta give Lionel credit. Okay, they went to the woodshed. They took their grief for it, and they made an amazing late model mold that the fans love. Right? It's kind of like with the NASCAR Authentics line. I gripe about it. No exclusives, blurry decals, crappy diecast mold that said, raise the price up and bring quality back. What did they do? They raised the price up, they brought quality back, and they are putting more exclusives in the winner circle line than I ever expected. Obviously, that is a win. I think that's not only a win for them, but it's also a win for the collectors. So when they get their W's, I'm going to give them their flowers. You feel me? And the late model mold was a massive dub in my opinion. I hope it's very successful on their business end, because I've bought in all of them that have been made, right? So I hope they're very successful in that regard. I love them. They're every now and then they have a massive W. These late models, massive W. When they made the truck diecast in 2019, massive dub. The winner circle line. You get what I'm trying to say. I'm not afraid to give someone their flowers when they're doing great. And this is definitely stuff that fans want, and that's my thing, guys. Ask the fans what they want. What does the fans want? The fans wanting confetti on the windshields. Give them it. What do they do? Bam, they did it. Wow, that's great. If you were to ask me right now what I would like to see, even more exclusives, absolutely. I would love to see more Xfinity diecasts and truck diecasts get made. That's something I think we could probably find a way to work on, whether it's either more promo releases, maybe a smaller production run with a little bit of a higher price point. Like, think about it, and I'll end the video on this. You have an obscure diecast release, obscure random truck series paint scheme. The usual production amount for most 164s like this that come in this box here, and I'll show another one here, like a random diecast like this. It's usually at least 2,500 to 3,000 individual 164s that have to get made, whether that's the sponsor buying them, a diecast dealer's buying them, or pre-orders, whatever it be. That's the production amount they usually have to have, the MOQ, minimum order quantity. Anyways, I would like to see something where maybe they have a lower MOQ, let's say it's 500, and instead of the diecast being, I don't know, $10 or $11, maybe raise it to 15. Okay, now the fans don't like that. They don't like that. It's a lower percentage of the cars being made, which means it's going to be worth a whole heck of a lot more long term. If you only have 500 of a 164 that got released, and it's online and everybody can get it, it could sell out in one day. And then you're screwed and you can't get it. I think that would be a very interesting idea to see how successful that would be, because I've seen like other toy brands, they've done, not saying these are toys, but I've seen them do like limited edition releases online, and they do a minimum quantity of it, and collectors will buy it, and once they buy it, it's gone. I think they could do something like that for the, for maybe for the smaller teams or the obscure paint schemes that are just going to get canceled. Do a small production run of 500, increase the price a couple dollars more, put it on online, first come, first serve, and once it's sold out, congratulations, you didn't get it. Snooze, you lose. And it's going to entice people to buy it, and here's why. Because the market value for those diecasts are going to only go up drastically. If there's only 500 of this diecast in circulation, you know how many Dale Jr. fans are going to go bonkers to have it? That's what I'm saying. So in other words, it sells the diecast for them, having that fear of missing out. That's good marketing, I believe. So that's just my 2 cents. What I would like to see maybe Lionel implement in the future, a limited release on some of these random truck and Xfinity paint schemes. Some of the backmarker cars, maybe release a Corey LaJoy or a J.J. Yaley diecast every now and then that had no snowball's chance and what of getting made in the Gold Series. Do a 500 production run. First come, first serve. Increase the price a little bit, maybe around the diecast chassis price, or the what Circle B does, where they have their air freight early releases, so you can get a Chase Elliott paint scheme a couple months before it actually shows up, because they FedExed it to their store. You're paying the air freight price, but guess what? You get it early. Do something like that in that price range. I think it could be profitable for it. I think it'd be cool for them to do that. And from a collector's perspective, I think it would be great to get more diecasts made. And it would also add a lot of value to those who like to protect and preserve their collections, because you're going to have something that no one, or not many people, could have. Enough of me ranting about random stuff about diecasts. You know how passionate I am about this stuff, so it's kind of good to talk about these things. But have a blessed one, everybody. Diecastbuffet, sign it off.